5, okay, if you go to Philippians 2 and 5, let this mind be in you, which was also where? In Christ Jesus. So now, let's find out some things here. Go to verse number 6, and let's find out what's going on here. So Christ now, he says, let this mind be in you. He says, who being in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal with God. So Jesus now is equal with God, but he's not saying, but he's saying here there's another purpose that's bigger than what I think. So I got to shift and move. I got to do what? Shift. Now, I'm equal with God, but I got to shift. Look what he's saying here. I'm equal with God, but I got to shift. Now go to verse number 7. But made himself of no reputation. So the first thing I got to do is put my pride down. Because what Jesus is saying here is my purpose is bigger than who I think I am. Okay? They're going to get it. And took upon himself the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men. In other words, he's saying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to forget who I am and I'm going to who God has called me to be. Because who God has called you to be might be different from who you think you are. Because he's shaping you and molding you for purpose, not for your publicity. Okay? That'll come later. But it might not come like you think it's going to come. Okay? Somebody said, but it's coming. Watch this now. So Jesus has lowering himself. But when God gets ready to lower you, he's getting ready to shift you into purpose. Because God now, he can't use you in your high-mindedness. He has to use you when your mind is yielded to him. Because this is the reason why Paul had to keep himself, because he said, I have a thorn in my flesh to remind me, even though I got this revelation, I'm still human. God sometimes will give you a thing that will mesmerize the minds of people. It'll mesmerize even your mind. And then the next day, some will come against you that'll make you mad and remind you that you're still human, even though you just preached a good sermon yesterday. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Let me come down here. God will use you to sing a song that'll cause the church to be on ear. And then somebody will pull you over in traffic and begin to look at you, and something might come out of your mouth to remind you you're still human, even though you had a good praise and worship service. Okay, let me say it this way. You give scripture to everybody else. God will make a way. God will do it. All things are possible. And then when something happens in your life, then now you have trouble with faith. You know why? Because God is showing you that you're still human, even though you gave a perfect word. I'm helping somebody today. Don't get so high-minded when God uses you, because it ain't you, baby. It's God using you. That's why I give God all the glory. So when God can use a person who will lower themselves, because when you lower yourself, God said, now I can use you, because I can mold you. I can do what I want to do with you and through you and for you, because your mind ain't high no more. Watch this now. Go to verse number 8. Somebody say, I'm shifting today. And being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient. There's something about an humble and obedient person that God uses. What? Humble and what? Obedient. Let me keep going. Now wherefore God, hold on now, he abased himself, made himself of no reputation, lowered himself, humbled himself, became obedient. Then God highly exalted. Somebody say, when you have a divine movement of humility, then God divinely exalts your humility. They're looking at you saying, how you going to survive? If anybody in here, the devil ever come to you and say, what you going to do now? Preacher boy. What you gonna do now, usher? What you gonna do now, MOT church member? What you gonna do now, child of God? The thing you gonna do now is say, though you slay me, yet will I trust you. What you going to do now is tell the enemy, no weapon formed against me, come on, shall do what? Come against me and prosper. Watch this. Now, the reason that you know that you are anointed is when weapons are formed against you. Let me say it again. Look at what it says. It said, no weapon formed against you. It means this right here. The enemy is constantly making weapons. You ain't got it. He ain't making one weapon. He is making weapons now. Watch this. To fit your dilemma. Okay, yeah. See, he ain't using the same thing he did when you won last time. So the reason that you know you're shifting is when the enemy it formed a new weapon. Okay. Let me tell you, let me come down your road like this. You overcome this thing right here. And then next thing you know, you find yourself in a new fight. It ain't anybody here that I'm talking to right now that here has won some things, have walked through some things, but then you find yourself facing something that you ain't never faced before. You thought when you got married you'll never be divorced. You thought when you got this job you'll never lose it. You thought when you joined this church you'll never be hurt. You thought ain't there anybody here that has got something going on that you never thought you'd be going through? That's a weapon form. Yeah. So a weapon form. That means the enemy is studying you. He's studying you, Zach, to see what makes you tick. So what he's doing here is he's forming, fitting a tailor-made weapon that's supposed to take you out. But what he doesn't understand is that the same material that he's making the weapon out of is that what God has made. So he takes what God has made, and then he forms a weapon against you. But what they don't understand is that God says, put on the whole armor. So God knows the material that the weapon is being made out of. So he causes your armor to be harder than the weapon. No, says, Seth, I got an armor that's tougher than the weapon that's coming against me. Oh.